Today, we're diving into a manipulation tactic that is so seductive, but also so painful. It's called future faking, and it's all built around the powerful and often heartbreaking illusion of someday.
Have you ever been there? In a relationship where the future sounds absolutely perfect, but the present just hurts? Like one minute, they're painting this amazing picture of your life together. You know, the house, the travel, the family. And the next, their actions just make you feel completely invisible, totally devalued. But you hang on, right? Because you think, the person promising all that, they have to love me, don't they?
Well, if that sounds even a little familiar, then you've probably run into what's known as future faking. And it's a really big deal in narcissistic abuse. See, it's not actually about planning a life with you. It's about using the dream of a future to gain power and control over you, right here, right now.
Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to pull back the curtain on this whole someday illusion and really get into the nitty-gritty of what makes it so powerful and, honestly, so damaging.
All right, so here's the first thing that's going to sound completely backward. When someone promises you the world, of course it feels personal. It feels like they see how amazing you are. But here's the first shocking truth. It has almost nothing to do with you. Like, at all.
What's really going on is this. They aren't building a future for you. They're trying to build an escape hatch from their own pain. You see, this whole behavior usually comes from a place of deep self-loathing and shame. They genuinely believe their real self is unlovable. So all those incredible promises, they're basically just creating a fantasy character to play, one that makes them feel better for a little while.
And this just kicks off a really destructive cycle. Getting you to believe in their fantasy gives them this temporary hit of power, right? A quick relief from how inferior they feel inside. It's like a drug, really. It traps them in this addictive loop where they have to keep creating these illusions just to feel okay about themselves.
So to really get a handle on this, we've got to break it down even more. We're about to walk through 5 shocking truths that are hiding behind this whole thing.
So we've already covered the first big one. It's really all about their pain. Now let's get into the second truth and figure out, where do these perfect promises even come from?
And here's the second truth, and this one is wild. They are literally selling your own dreams back to you. See, a future faker doesn't just make this stuff up. They use a tactic called narcissistic mirroring. In the beginning, they are the best listeners in the world. They get you to open up about all your deepest hopes and dreams. And just like that, they have the perfect blueprint to build an illusion that is tailor-made just for you. So you're thinking, wow, I've found my soulmate, when really, you've just found someone who's an expert at holding up a mirror to you.
Okay, so building on that, we get to the third truth. Future faking is a weapon, and it has a few different uses. First, it's used to distract. Let's say they totally flake on a dinner you planned and don't even call. When you bring it up, instead of saying sorry, they start talking about this amazing, fancy dinner they'll take you to next week. Boom! You're not talking about their bad behavior anymore, you're focused on a promise. It's also used to punish. They'll dangle that future you want right in front of you and then pull it back, saying something like, "We'd be engaged by now if you weren't so demanding." And finally, it's a hoovering tactic. The second you try to leave, they suddenly offer up everything you've ever wanted, just to suck you right back in.
This all leads us to the fourth truth, which is maybe the most important one of all. The real goal here is to keep you confused. It's to trap you in this state of what's called cognitive dissonance. You've got their loving words about someday on one hand, and their hurtful actions right now on the other. And that confusion? It's not a bug, it's a feature. It is the whole point of the manipulation.
And just like that, your reality is split right down the middle. You have the beautiful someday they're promising you, and then you have the painful right now they're actually delivering. And this is all by design. It's meant to make you doubt what you see, to question your gut feelings. You get so busy trying to make those two worlds make sense together that you completely miss the manipulation that's happening.
But here's the good news. Despite all these mind games, there is one simple, powerful way to cut through all of it. And this is our fifth and final truth. Actions never lie. Their actions will always tell you the real story.
So, the big question is, how do you actually do that? How do you cut through the noise? Well, there's an ultimate litmus test you can use, a way to find your footing when your head is just spinning with confusion.
You know, one person who went through this summed it up perfectly. They said that at the end of the day, no matter how incredible the promises were, the future they talked about, it never matched their actions today. And that, right there, is the key. So what you have to do is look for the pattern. It's pretty simple, really. In a healthy relationship, you've got consistency. What they say and what they do, it lines up. But in a manipulative relationship, you get a pattern of broken promises, goalposts that are always moving, and a future that's always just around the corner but never actually arrives.
But there's another part to this test, and it's not about watching them. It's about listening to you. Because your body, your nervous system, it often knows something is wrong way before your brain catches up.
Think of it this way. Your body's feedback is pure data. It's the most honest information you're ever going to get. When you're with them, do you feel relaxed? Can you actually breathe? Or do you feel tense, on edge, maybe even like you're shrinking? You have to trust that feeling. It's telling you everything.
Okay, so understanding all this is a huge first step. But the next step, and this is the most important one, is about taking back your life right now from that illusion of someday.
Because that's the ultimate trap here, isn't it? It ties your happiness to a fantasy that's never going to happen. It keeps you stuck, always waiting, always hoping for that future to arrive. It's a cage for sure, but it's a cage that's been built out of your own hopes and dreams.
So what's the most powerful thing you can do? It's to stop looking at the promises and start looking at the proof. Look at their actions, right here today. The moment you ground yourself in what is instead of what was promised, that's when you start to take your power back. That's when you start building a future that's actually real.
And that brings us to our final thought. This isn't about their promises anymore. This is about your future. So now that you can see the illusion, the question is, what's one step, just one small thing you can do today to start building a future that is truly 100% your own?